Hey guys, Sean here. I want to talk about common mistakes by rookies. And if you make these mistakes, you're showing your hand. Okay? Excuse me. By the way, we're at surplusfundsriches.com. Check us out there. Put your name and email on the right side in the little box. You'll get an email with an overview of our programs. You can also click on products. Check out what we got. What I'm talking about today is deed flipping, which is going after property pre-tax or mortgage foreclosure, making a deal, buying it for next to nothing, paying off the debt that's owed that's actually foreclosing and going forward. So let me talk about some everyday mistakes that I see that people are tipping their hand that they really don't know what they're talking about. And as a result, the person on the other side of the deal is not going to do a deal with you. They're not, because they're going to know either you're full of crap or you don't know what you're doing. Either way, they don't want to work with you. Not in a market like this. So let's talk about the mistakes I see every day that you guys are making. First of all, you're using a quit claim deed, which I recommend you do, as long as you do your homework and check debt and ownership and that type of thing, both against the property and the individual. Make sure that you can get clear title or create clear title. Okay? So it's not a quick claim deed. It's quit, Q-U-I-T. You're quitting your ownership to the property without regard to debt. That's what that is. It has nothing to do with the speed with which it's recorded. Okay? Whenever I see somebody go, I'll do it with a quick claim deed, I go, yeah, you're done. I'm not talking to you. You're an idiot. I'm done talking to you. The other thing I see is guys are using assignable contracts. They're using assignable contracts where they want to assign it to their investor. Okay? Or they're using subject to contracts. By the way, guys, that crap has been around for 30 years. Okay? Carlton Sheets came up with this stuff decades, plural, ago. All right? People are wise to that. Okay? I know you went and watched, God, I'm making fun right now. I'm sorry. I know you went and watched some kind of real estate seminar at your local whatever, Coliseum, and you got all pumped up and you thought that this is a new thing. It's not. Okay? So if you're going to use assignments, first of all, you need to understand that in the vast majority of states, assignments are assignable, period. Doesn't matter who cuts that final check. They're assignable. You can direct the attorney to put that into somebody else's name at the point of closing if you're going to use an attorney, or you can simply write it yourself with a quick claim deed and direct it to be in somebody else's name that is actually buying the property. So they're assignable unless they say otherwise, okay? Usually the contract reads and or assigns. Now that's one part of it. The second part is the guys that are using assignments are highlighting and underlining that, right? Like trying to get their... Again, it's assignable. No reason to beg the question. No reason to make that something where they're like, why the hell is he doing this? Why is he highlighting and underlining all? Same thing with subject to, right? All right, so let's go forward to, in most areas that we're seeing, depending on it, there are regional differences, but most areas we're seeing that the owner's going to want about 1% down in one form or another. There's two forms of upfront or good faith money. One is due diligence and the other one is earnest. These can be called different things in different regions. Okay? So don't nitpick me in the comments. Well, that's called, I don't care. All right? It's either a due diligence type payment, which is you're giving the money that is non-refundable. If you don't close, the owner gets to keep it. That's basically to defray the cost of them pulling that property off the market during the time period you need to close. That's all that is. They know, all right, I'm going to give this guy his shot, but if he doesn't come through, I'll have enough money to cover the marketing cost incurred or time lost, okay, by having it off the market for however long, 2 weeks, a month, whatever. So that's due diligence. You're not going to get that back. The other part of that is an earnest money type of situation. Most areas are going toward a due diligence, good faith payment. Simply because it makes sense, right? And you don't get involved in who gets the money back if it doesn't go through and all that. The owner gets to keep it, period, at the end, or it's applied toward the purchase price if you actually close on it. Earnest money, the other possible way to look at this is when you look at things like earnest money, this is money that the seller gets to hold. And by the way, you can get due diligence back some instances within a certain time period. It's bizarre. Anyway, earnest money, you can argue about who gets it back and say, well, he didn't disclose this and all this type of thing. I don't care what you put it down. Okay, I prefer due diligence because you need to show that you're serious about what you're doing. And by the way, people are saying, well, put $100 down or $50 down or whatever just to tie it up, just get the thing under contract. They're not even going to look at your offer or take you seriously, especially if you're saying, hey, it's a cash offer, closed in 3 weeks. Oh, by the way, I've only got $100. What are you, an idiot? Seriously, are you an idiot? If you've got the cash to close on a $150,000 house, I think you got more than $100 in your pocket, if you're real. So the owner in that instance, the seller is going to be looking for at least 1%. I've heard a lot of friends of mine that are realtors in areas that are now demanding 2% down, just for people to, one form or another, guys. 2% down just to show that they have the money to actually come up with the closing costs at the tail end. So we're seeing more and more of that. But if you guys think you're going to go out there and make a 50 and give $50 or $100, you're an idiot. You're not going to get the deal under contract. Or I know somebody's going to comment, oh, I've done 5 deals like that. Well, over the last 10 years, and you went through 4,000 possible deals in order to find the idiots that would take it. I'm talking about actually building a business and doing a lot of work in this business and making a lot of money, not the occasional scrap here and there, okay? So if you've got investors behind you, let them know, look, guys, you want to put deals together? I'm going to need some money up front for that. Are you guys for real? And by the way, this is how you figure out if your investors are for real. If your investor, if you're looking at $250,000 homes and he doesn't have $2,500 in his pocket to risk on a deal, go to the next guy. All right? You're working with people that don't have any money. They're trying to play the same game you're playing. Don't do it. Okay? The other thing is speed. A lot of you guys are trying to write up assignments or subject twos, and you're thinking, oh, I can probably get one of my investors to take this, or I can find an investor. Okay? But you're scared. And I don't blame you. You know, you don't currently have people in your pocket that'll work with you. You don't have people that are going to help you out. You try to make it a 2-month closing. Guys, if it's a cash deal, I'm looking for this thing to happen in 2 weeks, not 2 months. Somebody sends me a deal and says, yeah, I'll close on your property in 45 days for cash. I go, see you later. See you later. You should be able to do this in 3 weeks max. And that's if the attorneys are backed up, okay? Now, if you're going to inspect it, and I've seen people do that where you're looking at a tight margin, and that's smart, because if you're looking at a really tight margin and a $20,000 structural issue comes up, and that's going to eat your profit, you don't want that deal. Pay the money to have a real inspection company inspect it, because if there is a realtor on the other side of this deal, and you have your cousin Larry, who's a contractor, inspect it and say, you know what, those floors are going to take me, it's going to take somebody $50,000. Here's my estimate to fix that. You know, the realtor on the other side, if there is one, or the owner's going to go, $50,000 to replace a joist, some subfloor, and whatever in the laundry room? Get out of here. Get out of here. See you later. Hire a real inspection company. Now, talking about realtors. Sometimes there are realtors on the other side. I am personally amazed at how few people that are in distress actually list their property. A lot of them don't, guys. A lot of them, their heads in the sand, they don't get it. I get it. I went into personal bankruptcy in '93. I had a business partner take money out of the account and screw me. I get that people get into that situation and you're not thinking straight, because I've been there, okay? But when you're there, when people are there, they don't list the property and don't think of what they should be doing to sell it. They don't, oh, it's a hot market, I can just list it and sell it and be done with it. They don't. I'm amazed at how many properties are available that aren't listed. However, when they are listed and you've gotten in touch with the owner, he goes, hey, I've got a realtor. Work with the realtor. I was a licensed realtor. I'm still a licensed real estate agent in North Carolina. I still have my own real estate company. But I'm telling you right now, I will call that realtor and go, look, I called your owner, didn't know it was listed. I even tell him I happen to be licensed. I'm a licensed real estate agent, didn't mean to do that, didn't know it was listed, didn't check that particular part of it. Anyway, look, here's what I'm trying to offer him. And obviously you need to make money till you've listed the property. Would you take this for your commission? And I'll represent myself. No other agent involved. And I'll make a deal with them. Look, I'm not trying to screw a realtor out of his whatever, 3%, 2%, whatever his side of the listing side of the commission. I don't have a problem with that. I'll pay the guy. We'll pay it at close. I don't care. Okay? The final thing, there's two final things here. One is you guys are running scared when you see some hair on it. In other words, a recent deal I did, there was an IRS tax lien, but it was coming off January 28th. I just put it back on the market about a week ago. Because I pulled it off and just boarded it up and waited until the IRS tax lien would fall off. Now, because there was an IRS tax lien for $69,000 on a property worth $40 in its current condition, I was able to get it for $3,500 to the owner. Okay? One other thing. It was in tax default, but there was no auction date set. Here's the other mistake you guys make. So yes, I want to go after hairy stuff. If you know it can work out, maybe you're going to have to wait a month or two. So what? You can get it cheap as hell. Okay, I'm going to have a total after paying off taxes when we actually close on this. I'll have a total of $8,500 in it, and I'll be able to flip it for $40,000 as is. Where is? I call that a big freaking hit. I've almost quadrupled my money. Actually, probably about half. Anyway, that's a good hit. Okay, and yeah, I had to wait an extra month and a half because of the IRS tax lien on it. Who gives a crap? I spent $150, well, more than that because wood's so damn expensive. I think it was $350 to have the thing boarded up, and I had a small roof repair to make sure there wasn't an ongoing leak in there. That's it. So look, don't be afraid of hairy stuff. If you can work through it, talk to attorneys, talk to people who know what they're doing, talk to your buddies that are investors, but don't freak out over hair. We call it hair on a deal. The last thing is, though, a lot of you guys, you're being smart enough to check that against the property, and you're saying, oh, look, it's going into foreclosure over taxes. There's also this equity line over here for 15 grand. I need to pay off the equity line, and I need to pay off the taxes. No, pay off whatever is foreclosing. The other debt you can pay off from when you sell it. So, for instance, let's say that property I got $3,500 to the owner. I know I got to pay off $5,000 in taxes, but the auction hasn't hit yet, so I'm not paying it off yet. I'll pay that off when we flip it to the next investment. I don't care. I'll have the attorney pay it off. Who cares? Who gives a crap, right? And what am I going to incur? $100 in late fees? Whatever. I'd rather incur $100 in late fees than have to come up with $5,000 now, right? Now let's assume on that property there was a $10,000 equity line. I still would have taken it. Total with fees and late fees and interest and all that, $10,000 owed on an equity line. I still would have taken the property. A lot of you guys out there would have been, I'm going to use an attorney, I'm going to get a general warranty deed. Well, that would have required you to pay off the $10,000. I used a quick claim deed and recorded quit with a T, okay? And recorded that. Once I recorded that, it's mine. I put it on the market. I sell it. When it comes to sell, if there had been a $10,000 equity line, I'd have the attorney pay that out. What do I care? I sell it for $40,000, right? I pay off the $5,000 in taxes out of that. I've paid $3,500 to an owner. That's $8,500. I got to pay off a $10,000 equity line. That's $18,500. I still make $21,500. Yeah, there's going to be attorney fees and others. Whatever. I make $20,000, and what do I have into it? All I did was pay the owner $3,500. Don't pay off extra debt that is not foreclosing. You can pay that off out of the closing. That's important. A lot of you guys don't look at that, and you got to look at what do I have in, what am I getting out. In this instance, I'll have, if I had an equity line on that, I'd have $3,500 into the owner, and I'd be making my $3,500 back plus about $20,000. That's how you got to look at it. Thanks, guys. Hope this has helped. Have a great day.